Alright, welcome back to Trails Through Daybreak. Just about to do the nighttime section in Edith before we leave for Basel. I don't think there's much to do tonight. But there's like one side quest and... Actually, there's like 3 connect events as well. Maybe I should get those out of the way first. I did not do this one in my last playthrough, so we'll do this. I hope you're ready, Van. I'm not gonna go easy on you. Someone's eager to learn. I'm impressed you want to try it. It's pretty tricky for a kid your age. That's okay. I've watched Grandpa play before. It always looks fun. I figured he might have had something to do with it. I've seen him playing with his buddies before. Why not ask him to teach you instead of me? I'm sure he'd be really happy to do so. Don't worry about it. And I want to play with you, Van. Alright, if that's what you want, we can go around. With that, Van and Yume started playing. Just the act of teaching Yume how to move the pieces was a struggle in and of itself, let alone all the other rules and complexities in chess. Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring. She'd flick her pieces at his to knock them down one moment, and the next she'd be trying to use already captured pieces as her own. But Van's patience never wavered. He gently and slowly continued teaching Yume the rules behind chess in an easy-to-digest way. Oh, is that how you're gonna play? Yep, my house, my rules. My mistake, Your Highness. Well, as long as she's having fun. Little by little, Yume finally began to grasp the rules. Her tendency to make a move guided just by intuition made her very unpredictable. Your turn, Yume. Who's next? Haven't been playing for long, but her instincts are real sharp already. No hesitation when making a play either. Well, I guess she's still a kid. She's good at catching me off guard. I know, how about this? Huh? Take that. Your turn, Van. Whoa, that's a really good play there, kiddo. Keep this up and you might end up going pro when you're older. Oh wait, is Mare guiding her? Maybe. I'm just glad you're having fun. Huh? Are you not having fun too? I am. I'm having lots of fun. And it's because you are, Van. You've been so happy lately. You're always smiling now that Agnes and Fairy and Aaron and Rosette are here. What? Was I not happy before that? You ain't wrong, kid. Not a lot to be happy about back when I just started. Just a bunch of shady jobs. I was just seeing the worst in people. I thought I knew what I was getting into, but spend too long surrounded by nothing but darkness and you eventually go blind. I don't think I could thank you enough, kiddo. That bright smile of yours was like a lifeline for me, even when everything else in my life was grim. If only you knew how special you are. No wonder your granddad's so crazy about you. Hey, are you listening to me? It's your turn, Van. Come on. Oh, sorry, Yume. My next move is... Hey, you punk! Don't you think it's about time I had my granddaughter back? It's getting late. Crap, I lost track of time. Sorry, kiddo. We'll have to finish our match another day. Aw, but I want to keep playing. But okay, I had fun. Look, Grandpa, look. I learned how to play chess. Now we can play together. Yume. Ah, that's why she wanted me to teach her. On second thought, I may have been too strict. You could keep playing with our good-for-nothing neighbor. Just make sure you don't go to bed too late. Really? Yep. You earned it for making your old grandpa so proud. Just promise not to keep your mom waiting or she might get mad. Yay, I promise. You're such a sucker for Yume. Can't imagine there's much you wouldn't do for her. No one asked you. Let's split into teams. Me and Grandpa against you, Van. 2 on 1? Well, that ain't fair, but I'm in. If I get to play your granddad, then that means I don't have to hold back and... I don't think so. Only one of us gets to look good in front of Yume, and I'm certain you understand who it'll be. 3 of them kept playing deep into the night until an exasperated Paulette finally came to check on them.
次は何を教えてもらおうかな。楽しみにしてるね。何をするの？
Van made his way over to the station to see a street musician performance. I can see why people have been raving about her. She's pretty damn good. Wait, she looks kind of familiar. I think this is one of the only Connect events that has any voice acting. You were great today. I can't wait to hear your next song. I'll be back again for sure. Sorry, but I'm done for today. Just here to say I liked your performance. Ever thought of putting a single out? It'd sell like hotcakes for sure. Heh, thanks for the vote of confidence. However, there's no shortage of capable artists out there who can write and perform at my level. The music industry is hard to break into. That's definitely true for no-name artists. But you and I both know your songs would take the world by storm if you used your real name. Let's continue this conversation elsewhere, shall we? I'm surprised you saw through my disguise. I even changed the tone of my voice. How'd you know it was me? Mostly came down to luck. I wasn't 100% sure myself. If I only knew you from your movies, you'd have had me fooled for sure. But I've seen you up close and personal several times at this point. I need to get my act together. I've never been found out before now, so maybe I was getting a little careless. This isn't the first time I've seen you in disguise, by the way. I saw you in an Aramis outfit once. Oh, you remember that? Yeah, it left an impression on me. You were acting different from usual back then too. So, you like doing stuff like this? By the way, that dialogue was something I didn't get the first time around. I only got it because I saw her at the movies once. I do. I enjoy going out in disguise from time to time. Makes for good practice as well. When I'm on set, everyone knows I'm playing a part. But when I'm out in the wild, I could take on any role I want and no one would know I'm acting. It's made for a fun little hobby. So you're acting on the clock and in your downtime. Damn, talk about being dedicated to your craft. I suppose I just can't get enough of it. Although, it mostly stems from a complex I've had since I was a child. I don't exactly have a distinct self. Perhaps that's why I've always wanted to act like someone else, and why I ultimately gravitated to acting. Or maybe I just wanted something that would help me avert my eyes from that uncomfortable truth. My motivation for choosing this career path is purely selfish. I'm sure my fans would be let down if they knew. Eh? I wouldn't call that selfish. It's normal to want to change something you don't like about yourself. You think so? I know so. That said, your hobby's only going to get harder the higher up you get on the ladder of fame. But I doubt you need me to tell you that. Yes, I know that all too well. The risk of me getting recognized will only grow as I get more famous. But the mountain challenge will only serve to make success all the more sweet. All that talk about you not having a distinct self was a big fat lie. What do you... You said it yourself. The challenge makes success all the more sweet. Those are the words of someone who gets fired up when the odds are stacked against them. That's a pretty unique quality, and it's one that no one I know has. It's not half as unique as your willingness to turn people's words against them. Hey, I'm just trying to help a friend believe in themselves a little. Oh, I know. I'm only teasing you a little. Really though, thank you. I feel better about this now. Glad to help. Anyway, please don't tell anyone about this hobby of mine. I'd like it to be our special little secret. Sure thing. She really knows how to knock you off your feet. Guess she ain't an award-winning actress for nothing. After Nina departed, Van resumed his patrol once more.
次は誰になろうかしら。ぜひまた見つけてみてくださいね。何をするの？
Van headed to the meetup location indicated by the mail. Van? Van, over here. My thanks for coming out here. It's been a few hours, yes? Thank you for answering my call. Why are you hiding there? I know you're good with arts and everything, but don't you have your right hand with you? Or even just one bodyguard? As I wrote to you, I managed to lose them for a moment. Shall we be off then? Let us share the night as men, savoring all the dazzling delights of Edith nightlife. Already kind of regretting this. 30 minutes prior, Calvar's film culture is truly impressive. Big studio or small, they all manage to release some rather fine pieces of cinema. That ordinary members of the public have places like this that they can visit to enjoy such works is also wonderful. We really must work to further their spread into El Saim. Wouldn't you agree, Najee? Yes, our time at the film festival really heightened my appreciation for movies. Well then, now to decide our next destination. Any ideas? Shouldn't we call it an evening, Your Highness? You have meetings with other Calvardian businesses scheduled for tomorrow and beyond, after all. I suppose you're right. Very well, let's return to our hotel. As you wish. I'll have them send the car to... What is it? What? There's been a collision along our route back? Get me the details. I need to know exactly what's going on. We can't risk exposing His Highness to any potential danger, no matter how slight. A-Team, go to the scene and report back what you find. B-Team, search for any viable substitute routes we could take if necessary. You're in so much trouble, buddy. Sure it was okay for you to slip out like that? I guess that's up to you, isn't it? Given the situation, if by some off chance something were to happen to me, I dare say the obvious person to hold responsible would be... Scratch that. I don't just kind of regret this. I want to erase all evidence that this ever happened and then book it out of here. Now, don't be like that. There's no one better to fulfill this role than you. Think of this as a symbol of my trust. Fine. Where do you want to go anyway? Excellent. You're everything I'd hoped for, Van. I've marked a few places I was hoping to visit. The one closest by would be... Oh, excellent. Excellent. So this is the rock and roll that's been so popular lately. I dare say the fervor of this music could even sweep me away. We could get closer to this stage. Then let us do so. Hey man, that's a wild getup. This your first time at a live show? Come on man, get into the rhythm. Just match the energy and go wild. Go wild? So like this? Every one of them suits around these parts think they're just something else, huh? We run the country, they say. Bunch of BS is what it is. You're right, yes. Though I'd say that applies to more than just government. The hierarchy breeds haves and have-nots, and this zeitgeist of noblesse oblige instills some sense of duty among the upper class. Was it? Look at Fancy Pants here talking like he knows everything. Why don't you go back to looking down on us peasants from your penthouse, or... He's harmless, man. Give him a break. I'll treat you to a round if you look the other way for me. Now there's a guy who knows what's up. Well, this isn't going as smoothly as I'd hoped. Van and Cherie toured some more entertainment venues before heading for the bathhouse to wash off all the sweat and secondhand booze. This is great. These baths have a different feel to them compared to your average hammam. They're the best place I know for when you need a pick-me-up. I can only imagine what it must be like talking with the big boss. Indeed. I can't go into detail about what we discussed, of course, but one might certainly describe our meeting as taxing, to say the least. I will say, for a man so powerful, he was fairly candid. Somewhat anticlimactic, really. He's talking about the president of Calvard, by the way. But I suppose that's what it takes to win such a broad... that's what it takes to win such broad support from amongst the public after the distrust garnered following the war and economic crisis. He's a force to be reckoned with, that's for damn sure. I know he's up to something with Renee. Between you and me, I believe my sister would have done a far better job navigating that conversation than I did. I forgot you had a sister. Isn't she a fair bit younger than you? That's right, though her age belies her intellect. Her mind is quite sharp, but unfortunately her tongue is far sharper. She always feels the need to get a word in edgewise, under the pretext of supporting me as the heir to Elsa Yim's throne. She and my father, the Grand Prince, both have lofty expectations for me. I hope that, when the time comes, I'll be able to meet them. Sounds pretty rough. You got a lot riding on your shoulders. You're not wrong. I wish to broaden my horizons, also I can make El Saim a nation capable of standing on par with Zemuria's greatest powers. That's why I decided to come to the Republic. I wanted to study it and take in as much as I could. That was a plan, anyway. Despite that, all I did at first was indulge, night after night. Not that I didn't enjoy that, mind you. But that free time just left me thinking. What would he say if he were here? What would he do if he was in my shoes? He? Who are you? Oh, you mean that wandering bard, yeah? Klaus L knows him. She told me a little about him while we were in Tharbad. He's quite the guy. I caught wind of a lot of what he got up to through work 2 years ago. The very same. He traveled the continent from a young age, advocating for harmony between nations. I had the pleasure of meeting him once before. He'd come to visit El Saim, and I saw firsthand what kind of man he really was. Quite the charmer he is. It wasn't long before I held him in the highest esteem. That's what I've been chasing this whole time, following his example, growing and bettering myself for that goal. I fear, however, that I can never measure up to him. He's special in his own right, and I worry I'll never reach the pedestal I put him on. Feels as though I'm following after a mirage in the desert, so tantalizing, yet forever just out of my reach. Huh, no offense, but that kinda caught me off guard. Didn't realize you had such deep thoughts. Not like I want to tell you what to do or anything, but it looks to me like you gotta start living your own life. My own life? Elaborate. At the end of the day, you gotta strive for something more than just being a copycat. Can't always live in his shadow. You're the only one that could choose how to live your life. So what if you get a little lost in that desert? It's not all sand. An oasis will pop up here and there, for you to rest when you're weary. And you know how I'm so sure? Because there are suckers like me who choose to be a Spriggan. Now that's a dark and uncertain path. But what I'm trying to get at is that there's not just one way to live a life or achieve a goal. Everyone has their own compass. What do I know, really? I'm just an outcast, so maybe don't put so much stock in what I say. On the contrary, my friend, what you've said has done a lot to put my mind and heart at ease. I never thought I'd be taking life lessons from the likes of you. Seems you've perhaps lived a richer life than I first thought. Richer is one way of putting it. Don't know if I agree, though. I'm just a handyman who's been in the business for a while now. Did you have a nice bath, Your Highness? I've come to pick you up. Well, you finally found me, Najee. Or, knowing you, you probably didn't even lose me in the first place. I'm leaning towards the latter. I definitely found it strange you somehow managed to shake off Zemuria's most fearsome bodyguard. I'll take that as a compliment. Had it been anyone else but you, I wouldn't have allowed him to remain alone. So long as His Highness had a fruitful night out, I suppose it was worth the trouble. There you go, always a step ahead of me. Thank you, Van. I learned a lot during our rendezvous this evening. I feel as though I've peered a little more into those unknowable depths of yours. I pray you find great success with your assignment at Basel, not only as a client who's retained your services, but as a friend who has bared much to you now, literally and figuratively. Thanks, Your Highness. I promise we'll do what we can to deliver you results. This hasn't been such a bad night after all.
いずれエルザイムにも来てくれたまえ。妹ともども歓迎させてもらうよ。
Hey, so there's one side quest to pick up.
さあ、出発すんぞ。
Oh, before I do that, before I forget, I want to go to the theater.
さあ、出発すんぞ。
いらっしゃいませ。
Ron, a young officer of the law, is hot on the heels of a gang he once had ties to. While pursuing the case, he meets a girl named Michelle. She is freed from the clutches of the gang, but they saddled her with an insurmountable debt, with little hope of paying it off. Ron takes it upon himself to look after the girl, who begins to develop feelings for the young officer. Before she can act on it, however, the gang finds her and snatches her away once again. Fueled by the fires of rage, Ron rushes into their hideout and engages the gangsters in a gunfight. He emerges victorious by the skin of his teeth. He rescues Michelle from her captivity, and the two embrace each other at last, overjoyed to have made it out alive. It was at this moment when one of the fallen gangsters lifted his quivering hand and pulled the trigger.
Michelle! しっかりしろ!
Ron さん、私、あなたのことちゃんと守れた？
なあ、かすり傷一つないさ。
よかった。前に約束したでしょ。ロンさんがみんなを守る人なら、私がロンさんを守るって。
覚えてる。覚えてるとも。だからそれ以上喋るな。おい、こっちだ！ここに重傷者がいる！
ロンさんの筆の中、温かいな。 これなら私何も怖くないよ。
Hey, is that Van I see? Oh, hey Zin, didn't realize you were here. This time of day is the only stretch I get to myself. Dee filled me in on everything that happened around the film festival in Tharbad. That's how I learned about the movie and it winning the first Leon d'Or. When I saw they were doing reruns, I couldn't pass up seeing it. Makes sense. It won that award for a damn good reason. It's probably the best movie released this year, a real masterpiece. Not to mention that Nina Fenley and her co-star both took the awards for Best Actress and Actor on top of that. I could see why. It was great stuff. Lots of macho action and just as much romance. It really pulls at your heartstrings. I loved it. It's impressive how gritty it manages to depict the conflict between the police and gang while still being so entertaining to watch. Makes me want to follow Leslie Lamb's work and see what else he puts out. Can't say I blame you. The press loves him just as much as movie nerds like me. I have to imagine he's knee-deep in his next film by now. Looking forward to checking it out as a fan when it's out myself.
Sa, 出発すんぞ。
The hell, man? Who do those guys think they are? Chill it, Downey. I get how you feel, but shouting's doing nothing for us. Oh, but I'm not letting them get away with this. Hell no. Not with our street racer pride on the line. Seconded. We should take our chance while we can. What's going on here? Man. Guess I could let you know. There's this bunch of street racers causing trouble for us ever since they turned up in the capital. They're taunting us, I tell you. They drive like madmen around town just to get on our nerves. I ran my car into a guardrail thanks to their dumb asses. Just thinking about it gets me angry all over again. A hand-me-down I got from Downey got trashed real bad too. Dude, she had to be sent to the body shop. How can we let loose and enjoy a sweet drive with them tearing it up around town? Yeah, they sound pretty bad. Who are we dealing with here? They call themselves the High Bloods. There's 4 of them, and they all come from Oracion. They used to stick to their turf, but recently they started moving here. They're all rich kids, obviously, and their cars are really souped up. What's more, their leader Lucio is the grandson of ETWS current company president. He's got a modded ETWS sports car. Ain't no slouch as a driver either. Last we raced, he passed me by like I was just crawling through the street. Can you believe that? Hold up, you're saying it was the ETWS president's grandson? Man, that sucks. Last thing you need is someone related to the company's top brass being a dick. And he's not the worst of it. There's another guy that's an even more reckless driver. His name's Damien. He styles himself as their main fighter. He's all cocky, taunting us from his bike just because he could take tighter turns than any of our cars. He's the one that did my baby in. I'll never forgive that bastard. Never! Thinks he's better than us car drivers, does he? So, what are you planning to do about these guys? Surely you're not just gonna let them keep running wild. Definitely not. We've tried warning them over and over to stop behaving like this, but it's fallen on deaf ears. Since they're not heeding warnings like that, I tried talking to Lucio directly. Only thing he said was, if you want us to leave, you'll have to best us in a race. We're actually on our way to the race right now. Yeah? Guess my timing's just that good. You could say that. There's 4 of them, but me and Graham are the only ones with rides right now. And that's not even counting car specs and driving ability. Hate to admit it, but it's stacked, and not in our favor. But we can't just give up. Yeah, better to lose outright than to flake out on them and just lose by default. Not like we're hoping to lose, though. We're not backing down until they're in the ground. Wish us luck. I don't want to sit back and let a bunch of rich assholes wreak havoc in Edith. Maybe I could lend them a hand here. Mind if I join? I appreciate the sentiment, but this is our problem to deal with. Wouldn't be right to drag you into it. Hard disagree. This goes beyond just you. It involves all car lovers now. As a fellow driver myself, I can't just stand back and let a bunch of punks with no sense for safe driving screw up my home. I want to teach him a lesson. Man, now that's what we like to hear. Don't see why he can't join. Why not let him? Alright, thanks, Van. You're really saving our asses here. You might honestly be the best help we could have got. I respect you a lot, man. Thanks for saying so. That still leaves the problem of dealing with Damien, though. I'm no biker, so I'm not going to be able to help there. Not so sure how we're going to deal with that niggling little detail. Phew, that's all for today, then. Now back to my bike. Why are all of you gathered here? Hermes! Your timing couldn't be any better. Got some free time on your hands? Huh? I mean, I'm done for the day, so I guess I do. I see. So you're going to be racing them to teach them a lesson? Yeah, it would really help if we had a biker of your skill level on our team. What do you say? You up for it? Sure, I'll join your team. Teaching a naughty rider how to behave sounds like fun. I'll make sure they think twice before causing trouble in the capital again. Glad to see you so fired up for this. I really appreciate you agreeing too. Now it feels like we have a fighting chance. Yep, it's going to be a proper 4 vs 4 race. Now all that's left is leaving them in the dust. Anyway, clock's ticking. Let's get going to the meeting spot. You ready to go? Ready whenever you are. Same here. Then let's roll.
さあ、仕事を始めんぞ。
Is this the meeting spot? Yeah, just beyond here is the highway we're using. We're supposed to meet face to face right here first. Looks like they've arrived. Would you look at that? That's a hell of a ride. Right? A lot of Mira went into customizing her. This ain't gonna be an easy race. Hello and good evening, street racers. I'm impressed you didn't just turn tail and run. So you really showed up, High Bloods. I don't recognize those two. Well, thanks to your biker, our cars are in the shop. So I figured I'd call in some help. Look at these small fry. At least try and make this fun for us, alright? What? I dare you to say that again. Downey's all kinds of fired up now. Now I think it's time we reintroduce ourselves. We're the High Bloods, a team composed exclusively of those who are elite, even among the elite. Pleasure. You know, I completely forgot until you said the name, but I heard about the High Bloods a few years back. Heard they were nothing but a bunch of pampered rich kids, kinda like you. Ah, you must be referring to our predecessors. They apparently disbanded after doing a tour of Crossbell. Now their name is ours. Huh? Is there some specific reason behind inheriting their name? Indeed, there is. While we don't approve of the way they love drinking, women, and gambling, as former nobility, we identify with how they valued their chosen bloodlines that gave them power and wealth. It is only fitting that we consider ourselves the true High Bloods. Former nobility, eh? Been a while since I've heard anyone call themselves that. Yeah, you don't hear that kind of thing around here much. Maybe it's because they're from Arasion? Up until the noble institution was abolished during the Calvardian Revolution, Arasion was a royal capital. Shame that even after decades have gone by, there are still old fossils that can't throw away their elitist bullshit. But how dare you! Lucio's family line was a great noble house that had the trust of even the royal family. It's fine, it doesn't bother me. Commoners could never hope to understand our noble thoughts. What I cannot forgive, however, is that you people don't know your place. You insist on getting in our way. You're nothing but an eyesore to us on our drives. That's why we're going to make you leave the capital's streets. You got a lot of nerve. It's a riot that you think causing trouble for folks with your reckless driving is a way to have fun. As street racers, how could we hand these streets to you when you lack basic manners or compassion? Just what are you getting yourself all worked up over, commoner? Just look at you in your half-assed custom ride, because you got no mira to spend. You got no right to talk when you can't even bring out the true worth of your rides. Well, damn, you got a big mouth for such a little brat. If you know so much about the true worth of our rides, then why don't you teach me? Don't think we're just going to take this sitting down. It's time we settle the score, right here, right now. Yeah, get ready, high-bloods. Drivers as reckless as you have got no right to call themselves street racers, so we're making this your last drive. It would appear we have 4 vehicles each, so how about we race one-on-one? When you are ready, we'll leave for the expressway. Don't disappoint us. And so, with their street racer pride on the line, the curtain to their fierce battle rose. After confirming the rules of each race one more time, each participant went right to work preparing their vehicles. Okay, let's decide who's going to race who. Think I could go up against the biker on their team? Sure thing, just ride safe, okay? But of course. So, who's going to face Lucio? Did you leave him to me? It's my job as leader to get revenge for Downey. I have to. Graham. This race is about you guys. Whatever it is you're thinking, I'm down. That being the case, you said it yourself. If you go as is, you're going to lose. I'm not even talking about your driving technique either. If we're going by specs, it's going to be real tough for you. But, and I hate to say this, my truck could handle his ride. Hell, I could promise you I won't lose. Van. Alright, then Van will be racing Lucio instead. We're already borrowing your skills, we might as well be in it to win it. You got that right? I'll cut that spoiled brat down to size. And I guess that means we'll handle Lucio's 2 flunkies. If I remember right, they both came here in ETWS sedans. By the way, I've seen that Roger guy up close and personal before. I think I've got a decent idea of how he operates. Yeah, I knew I could count on you. Then I'll take on the other guy, Thibault. Great, sounds like we're all squared away. Once we wrap up our fine-tuning, let's hit the road. We're rooting for you guys, go kick some ass. And please, don't get hurt. Thanks, you guys. I promise we're gonna beat those high-bloods. The matchups decided, everyone got in their cars, and they were off to the races. The first round pitted Unifer against Thibault. Unifer's Leno sedan had the edge in traction due to the love and care she put into tuning it. As the race went on, she slowly but surely narrowed the gap between her and Thibault. However, her vehicle lacked the horsepower required to best his sedan, which boasted a roaring engine that ultimately led him to victory. For the next race, Graham stepped up to the plate, ready and willing to avenge Unifer. Graham's Ingert was a lightning-fast sports car, but Roger's decked-out sedan was no slouch either. It was a close race, with both cars being neck and neck from start to finish. In the end, Graham's powerful traction allowed him to emerge victorious by a hair's breadth. After that, it was time for the third round to commence. We're at 1-1 right now, so we don't have this in the bag just yet. But that just makes this all the more exciting. It'll be a cold day in hell before I lose to some pathetic courier lady. Get ready to choke on my dust. You stole my line. Starting line's up ahead. Time to get serious. Holy hell, look at her go. Can't even see her anymore. Eat that, loser. Afraid it's a little early to celebrate. That thing's acceleration isn't half bad, but its top speed doesn't hold a candle to my bikes. Specs aren't the only things that matter in a race, you know. On that point, you and I agree. That scumbag just rammed his handlebars against hers. Talk about dangerous. The fact that he pulled it off without losing his balance shows he's no amateur. Still reckless though. These guys are freaking crazy. Come on, I dare you to try and overtake me again. If you do, I'll hit your dingy little bike with everything I've got. Aw, what's the matter? Can't keep up? Or is our wimpy-ass courier getting cold feet? There's less than 500 yards until the finish line. Victory's as good as mine. This is a decisive moment. I can slow down, make him think I've given up, and speed past him when he least expects it, or I can rev up right now and punch him. He's pretty cocky. Throwing in the towel already? What a wuss. Just stick to carrying around people's junk in the future. What? Yes, go courier lady. She caught him off guard by speeding past him at the last second. What an incredible strategy. She even had me fooled. That was one hell of a secret weapon. Nice job. Was that a turbocharger? Something along those lines. I was hoping I could win without revealing it, but them's the breaks. Well, guess I'm up next. Go get 'em, Van. Knock the high bloods off their high horses. You really did customize every part of that ETWS car, from the suspension to the spoiler. You must be daft if you think you could take me with that little girl's car. You slighted me with your hubris, and I will make you pay for it. There's more cars on the road now. Using the turbocharger would be way too risky. He swerved around those cars like it was nothing. Thankfully, all this traffic is preventing him from hitting his top speed, so I can keep up with him. Can't get too cocky here, though. He might not be on Maxim's level, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. I had hoped he had a trick up his sleeve like that woman did. I was so looking forward to making a fool of him. But it's clear he has nothing. What a disappointment. We're approaching the point where the traffic from the Riverside district joins the expressway. This time of day, maybe I could... Looks like he couldn't keep pace with me. How pathetic. He's hiding behind the truck. Someone forgot to take out yesterday's garbage. Why must there be so many of these infernal trucks on the expressway at night? What? Your lack of knowledge of the area is coming back to haunt you, bud. Damn, got up faster than I thought he would. Well, look at that. So you do have a modicum of skill after all. Too bad it's futile. That pile of scrap can't match my car's acceleration and speed. I might be able to secure victory if I use my turbocharger, but it'd be risky. Should I do it? No, I can't risk hurting anyone. I'll accept no less than an overwhelming victory. It's got a turbocharger? Don't use that here, it's too dangerous. Whoa. Tried to warn you, dumbass. And that's that. This race goes to us. They did it. You guys are amazing. Yeah, you even surprised us. Seriously, way to go above and beyond. Sometimes things just work out, you know? But we really have Hermes and Van to thank for all of this. It was the least I could do after you came to me for help. It was a close shave, but hey, I got to show off a little, so it's all good. So, High Bloods, you're going to keep your promise, right? Curses. How could this have happened? Our machines were tuned to perfection. We were in peak racing condition. Sorry, Lucio. If only I'd gone faster. I managed to win this time, but to be honest, I don't know how it'd turn out if we did a round 2. Never thought I'd run into a biker as wild as her. Here I was planning to run circles around her, but she ended up running circles around me instead. Damn, man. guys. Fine. As promised, we will come nowhere near the capital from this day forward. We will also cover the repair costs for your 2 vehicles. Is this to your satisfaction, commoners? I got issues with your tone, but yeah, that works. Well, hey, that's pretty generous, actually. Maybe you're not as bad as I thought. Bro, is that all it takes to win you over? They're the reason our cars are all busted up. Well, now that all is said and done, it's time we return to Arasion. However, do not misunderstand. In no way have we recognized that our style of driving is worse than yours. When next we meet, you shall be met with overwhelming defeat. And may you never forget it. Yeah, just you wait and see. Next time, I'm gonna blow your socks off. Huh? What is all that supposed to mean? I guess they won't mess around here for a while, but they'll be back for revenge at some point. What? Why do they get to decide that? What was the point of this whole deal then? If only they were more honest with themselves. Glad things worked themselves out in the end, I guess. Well, it wouldn't have gone half as well if you and Hermes weren't here. There's no way this is the end of it. But for now, we've at least chased the High Bloods off. Thanks for the help, you two. It's no biggie, I enjoyed myself, so it was worth it. Likewise, I'm happy my orbital bike skills proved useful. So the battle against the High Bloods came to an end with everyone singing praises for one another's efforts. On the way back, Hermes parted ways with the group, and Graham and his people returned to the repair shop.
これで解決だ。よし、いい感じだ。
入金を確認したわ。
Alright.
Yes, 行くか。
Time to leave for Basel. Come to think of it, I know Agnes is gonna go by train. But I should probably get what the prince sent me fitted sooner rather than later. First time doing any major mods to my baby in a while. Might as well have some fun with it. Roughly 2 hours prior. October 18th, 8:50 p.m. Phew, that was another close one, but it looks like I've made it in time for curfew. Just. I'll have to try and get back to my room without running into the dorm mother. Dick Van is proving a bad influence on me. I need to keep living my own life and making my own decisions, not letting others make them for me. If I do.
返事は決まったようですね。
はい。バンさんからも改めて連絡があるかと思います。
それは結構。では研修先も決まりですか。
すべてお見通しだったんですね。あの人は。父はどこまで。それにあの場所。国防外というところのあり方も。
報告書は都度お渡ししています。一応目は通されているようですよ。あの場所についてはまあ差し控えておきましょう。
やっぱり父の采配なんですね。かつてない繁栄の果実の売れすぎた滴りを受け止める器。群がる欲望や悪意を隔離して 効果的にコントロールするための。
I mean, that sounds like a smart thing to do, to be honest. She clearly doesn't agree with it.
バイト先の指南だけではありませんか。さすが血は争えませんね。クロスベルのマクダエル家に習うのもまた一興なのでは。
失礼します。おやすみなさい。
She's pissed off at him already.
まあアニエスさん、こんな時間まで門限ギリギリですよ。
Yeah, but she's not past.
すみません、遅くなってしまい。
いじめすぎたか。エレイン相手といい悪い癖だな。ま、あのバカよりはマシだろうが。今回はギルドも当てにはできん。やはり別の手も打っておくか。
食えないお兄さん
He
ね。
said that out loud so she would hear.
でもこれも女神の導きかしら。そろそろ自分の目で確かめろっていう。後輩たちの引率もあるけどお茶会以上に忙しくなりそうね。
October 23rd, 12:08, 6:32 a.m. Perhaps we arrived a little early. Odette and Albert are coming from the 10th district, so they should be here before long. Really sorry I've asked so much of you. Don't worry though, even though I'll be away from the group, I promise I won't let it affect my work. I never had any doubt. In fact, I've already told the... Oh,
早いじゃねえか。そっちもこれから出発か？
almost. The others should be... Oh, you finished working on the car. Yeah, a mechanic over in Riverside had to lend a hand, but we got her ready in time. If I squint hard enough, I can almost fool myself into thinking it's a limo. The maximum occupancy has been improved from 5 to 8 passengers, and it sports its own onboard computer. We could even fit Agnes and her friends now. I suppose you could. You've been up to some interesting business now, haven't you? Not half as interesting as any trip you're in charge of. On the other hand, it's real reassuring to know you'll be around in Basel. You know, just in case. I could say the same of you. Why do you seem to know each other so well? We have a little history together, you see. She's such a brat. Oh my. Ding ding, another challenger enters the ring. Talking about 5 years ago here. Stop being such a damn tease. Oh dear, how cold of you. Not going to get a real answer to this, am I? Regardless, what are you all doing here? Oh, right. Hey, Reset. This is for you, Miss Cloudell. There are sandwiches for breakfast as well as some coffee. Victor and Paulette asked us to give it to you. They made more than enough for your friends to have some too. How thoughtful of them. I concur, and it smells wonderful too. Knowing the chef, it's sure to be great. What's going on here? Had to get in a heartfelt goodbye before you left? Don't make too much of a show of it, you two. No, wait, she really does have a boyfriend at her job. No, she does not. Please, everyone, this is a misunderstanding. We'll go ahead and get out of your hair now.
そんじゃ、バーゼルでな。どっちが先に着くかはわからんが。
はい。バンさんたちもお気をつけて。 まもなく欧州州バーゼル方面行き長距離旅客列車が発車いたします。アルタイル市クロスベル方面へのお客様は途中マルテ駅でのお乗り換えとなりますので。
Oh, I just can't wait. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the Republic's high-tech engineering city? That's right. According to the travel guide, it even has something called an aerotram. So, if I may ask, Agnes, what exactly were you and that man talking about? Come on, the train is departing, so let's get a move on. Right.
完全に気づかれているみたいね。結社の元執行者にしてリベール王国軍総司令の幼女。彼女がこの時期に共和国入りしたことは決して小さくない意味を持つはず。室長やキンケイド主任、現政権の思惑もまだわからない。
This woman was a very minor character in the Trails of Cold Steel. She appeared during a side quest or two, I think.
だけど今は責務を果たすだけよ。閣下の理念を少しでも残せるように。
I'm interested if we'll get to go to Baratie Air Base in the next game. It's like their military's headquarters, I think. Damn, this back seat is a life. 8 might be a tight fit, but I could spend a night here for sure. I swear to Adios, if you get dirt on that seat, take off your damn shoes or something. It's a shame Agnes couldn't come with us. It's not the same without her. Don't worry, I'm sure she'll have a chance to try out the upgraded back seat soon enough. Even though there is less space for cargo, the computer still fits snugly. Yeah, it kinda scares me how that Crown Prince knew how to pick such a perfect gift. Word of the wise, don't ever get in a debt to people like that. He says while having the time of his life installing that very gift. It is weird though. It feels like he's using both us and the guild depending on what he wants to do. One second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Unrelated, but what's Basel like? I've never been there, not even for an operation. Couldn't say I'm the biggest expert myself, but I have been there a few times for jobs. Located down in southwest Calvard on the walls of Aug Canyon, it's a haven of learning and industry. The Institute of Science and the Artisanal District have been around since the Middle Ages. Indeed, alongside those two areas is Newtown, which houses Vern at its center. It sprung up when one of Professor Epstein's 3 disciples brought in advanced technology. Oh, I know. That was Professor Hamilton from the Central East, wasn't it? At the time, the anti-immigrant sentiment wasn't quite as strong. Professor Hamilton's proposal was quickly accepted by the Institute of Science and the Artisanal District. So, 45 years ago, the Institute of Science and the Artisans Guild came together to establish the Vern Company. They then went on to further orbital technology in new, innovative ways. Right, like how Calvard and the Vern Company were the first to develop orbital cars. That eventually led to the 4 big car manufacturers being established as affiliated companies. And while Calvard pioneered orbital cars, the Empire was the first one to develop orbital trains, and Liberal the first to develop orbital airships. It's amazing the kinds of things a little research uncovers about the history of something so commonplace. All good to know, too. I'll have to keep it all in mind for my report. And we're not even done, because all that links to the development of films. Isn't this all a bit too simplistic? Isn't this all a bit too simple for a topic? No, don't be like that. What would be a student again? When I was their age. Wait, I'm only 21. Not an old pile of bones yet. The war 2 years ago and the lead up to it was a big turning point in tech across the continent too. The major powers were locked in a heated arms race with each other. The Empire even ended up creating these giant robots. One sec. Those Panzer Soldat things, yeah? I've seen them in person before and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Wars accelerate the birth of new technology, and that new technology in turn spurs on yet more wars. Liberal's airships are an excellent example of that, since they were first developed in response to a war between it and the Empire. Anyway, it was pretty clear tech-wise that the Empire was ahead of the Republic during the war. Calvar's back on top now, though. Yeah, the reparations and desire to not be one-upped by the Empire again more than fueled that fire. That's what inspired our Zyphas and the installation of the orbital network all across the country. Word is our military weaponry's got a massive overhaul in store soon too. And the one aggressively advancing all of that is our hot-ass president, Roy Gramhart. It's funny hearing you say it out loud, but yeah, he is pretty hot for his age, huh? He's become a big name even in the Empire, for a variety of reasons, I'm sure. Well, that just goes to show how big a deal he is on an international scale. Yeah, for how difficult things were at the end of the war, he's done a pretty stellar job of steering our ship. It is true that the current government is handling things extremely well. But that's more because either way, large influxes of Mira and major changes on the world stage often manifest as distortions in society. I don't know whether that fact's got anything to do with what we're going to investigate.
鼻は聞かせておけですね。
小娘の遺産の反応もある。んなことは花から分かってるんだよ。
ザイファをはじめとするさまざまな重要プロジェクトに関する動向、アルマータ以外の各種勢力の兆候も嗅ぎ分けられるよういたしましょう。はい、アニエスさんも一緒に。
I didn't even have to say anything, huh? Yeah, you're right on. I don't think anyone drives as good as you, Rosette. You know just how to make those little subtle moves to work with the flow of the traffic. Yeah, never seen anyone drive so straight. Why, thank you very much. Of course you've got an international license. What did I expect? I know I'm a perfect 5 on the driving scale, but I don't mind leaving the work to a solid 3 like you. Better than the 2 over here. Yeah, she's pretty damn... Wait, am I the 2? That's right, Chief. Better get your act together. Don't you worry, though. If you ever really want to make her scream, I'm here. Rat bastard, don't think you could satisfy my girl with how rough you handle. Mr. Way, Mr. Arkride, a child is present. Sexual innuendos. Wonder what Annius is up to. Your great-grandfather left that behind, yes? Must be very precious to you if you even brought it for our visitation. It is, yes. It's no exaggeration to say that I am who I am because of this. Though recently it's given me an awful lot to think about. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't seem to me like you have any regrets about it, at least. It's interesting seeing her wear glasses. You're right, I don't. Someone told me that I make the calls on what I want to do with my life. Maybe I haven't made all the right ones, but even still, my world has truly broadened and I've gotten to know so many wonderful people. I've come to know the nation of my birth from angles I never thought possible. Thanks to that, I'm now beginning to see how I should face the man moving this country forward. Not even trying to hide it, are you? Wasn't it supposed to be a secret to everyone but these two? True, it was. But I don't know, I get the feeling it's fine if you know too. Ever since meeting you in April, you've been so kind to me. You're the one who connected me to Van, so... Oh, I see now. You pushed me to use the orbital net specifically so I'd find his office, didn't you? Bingo. If it matters, we hadn't seen each other since we first met for a request 5 years ago. He wasn't even aware that I had come to Calvard as a foreign exchange student. It doesn't matter, of course, but then why did you take his arm like that? Do you really want to know? To see your reaction. I can't believe you.
でもちょっと嬉しいです。多分その時にバンさんにすごくよくしてもらったんですよね。なんで？だからこそ私にも紹介してくださったんでしょ。先輩がいつも私たちのことを考えてくれているのは知っていますし、よっぽど信頼に足る人じゃないと近づけたりはしないでしょうから。はあ、一本取られたわね。まあ子猫だった私が私になる最初のきっかけをくれた人ってだけよ。裏解決屋を始めたばかりでぶっきらぼうで実力も足りなくて、でも一緒になってあがいてくれて大切な人たちへ至る道を示してくれた。そうだったんですか。
I'm hoping that in a later game we'll get like a side story that tells a little bit about that in more detail.
バンさんは昔からバンさんなんですね。
Because that was back when she was like 13.
それに先輩もその後ちゃんと大切な人たちと。ええ、だから私はここにいる。その人たちの後押しで共和国に留学してあなたたちとも知り合って、何の因果か生徒会長を引き受けてこうして視察研修も引率したりして。不思議なものね、縁っていうのは。はい。ああ、そういえばあの人甘いもの好きは変わっていないの？
You already know the answer to that.
あと車にもやたらうるさかったような。なんだか昔より悪化してるみたいですね。よく知る方の言葉によればですけど。ああ、噂の永久さんね。何やらただならぬ関係みたいじゃない？実際そこのところはどうなの？気になっているんでしょ？そんなことは。ある程度は。起きそびれちゃったわね。レン先輩の話も気になるけど。
Pretending to be asleep.
なんか遅れを取ったみたいだし、私たちもせいぜいアニエスのバックアップをしますか。
あのバイトを認められるわけじゃないけどな。今回は同じ場所にいるんだ。友人として目を光らせてやるさ。
次は終点オージュ州バーゼル駅です。どなた様もお荷物をお忘れになりませんよう。
ようやくね。
そろそろだな。お、
出口ですね。
October 23rd, 1:05 p.m. Basel, the engineering city.
ああ、バンさん、これが。
おいおい、こうなってんのかよ。
左手が新市街、右奥に見えるのが伝統的な職人街ですか。
ああ、で上にあるのがバーゼル理科大学ってわけだ。このままぐるっと回ってベルヌ本社前の駐車場に停める。早速 CEO とご対面と行くぞ。
Amazing. Can't believe this city exists in the middle of a ravine. We're in HQ. I knew it was big, but seeing it up close is just redonkulous. Oh, and is that the aerotram I spy with my little eye? Wow, those are markedly different from the trams in Heimdall. Yo, this place is legit, mad respect. Some boomer had fun translating all these lines. This looks to be a showroom floor for cars. That sounds right up Van's alley. Alright everyone, let's get checked in at the hotel first. Once we drop off our bags, we can go pay the fine people of the Vern Company a visit. So that's why they call it a planned city. They developed the whole thing in big chunks. Whoa, the HQ is bigger than anything I've seen in the capital. Fitting for the Republic's largest private company. And I believe that hotel over there is where the students from Aramis are staying. Oh yeah, we're staying in different places. Of course. Yo, Van, we're in the artisanal district, right? Van? What's he looking at? Oh, motor pavilion. Right, should have figured he'd get sidetracked by big wheels, and he calls me a kid. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Looks like a nice little place. I'll take you there later if you want. For now, though, let's get down to business. He's got a good eye. Small wonder that he's connected to the chief. Ah, that's what he was looking at. I see. At any rate, I need to focus on my work.
ここがベルヌの落ち着いた雰囲気ですね。
共和国一の企業にしちゃ地味だな。
もっとギラギラさせろよ。コート風じゃねえっての。まずは受付に向かうぞ。
Welcome to the Vern Company. What brings you here today? We're Arkride Solutions from the capital. We're here on an official request from El Sain. Ah, good. Mr. Towsend has been expecting. Take the elevator on your left to the meeting room. It's on the 20th floor. Vern CEO Bill Towsend.
解決事務所。広告が雇ったとかいう調査屋か。
Pretty much. They asked us to look into the various problems that have hit Basel.
余計なことを。いや、なんでもない。結論から言えば心配無用だ。すべてはコントロール下にある。
Uh-huh. Do you now? If you could please explain. First, regarding the instability of the Orville net within the city, it was discovered that it was a simple matter of heavy traffic on the net. And just like with our Orville distribution network, the problem has been solved. Isn't it so?
ええ、おおむねですが、最大 8.3% 発生していた地帯も今朝の段階で 0.35% まで解消されています。
That does sound like a big drop, yeah. You still got that 0.35% hanging around, though. Ideally, that should be zero, yeah? Smells to me like there's still some stuff to figure out there. And that ain't the only issue you're dealing with, is it? What about that swell of visitors buzzing around the city? Is that not obvious? Basel is the beating heart of Calvar's industrial sector, home to my Vern Group and nearly 100 partners and subsidiaries. That's thousands upon thousands of employees, contractors, managers, all acting of their own accord. New hires from all over come in every day. So naturally, the city appears busy. An influx of visitors, particularly at this time of year, is nothing to fret over. Even bad faith visitors? Spies are all the rage these days, you know? I'm not sure what you've heard out there, but I'd advise against parroting such unsubstantiated claims. Your evidence, please. Though we've yet to investigate this issue, your dodging of the question implies you also lack the evidence to prove or deny the allegations. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here for, Mr. Towsend, to conduct this investigation on your behalf. So yeah, if we find anything, and I do mean anything, we'll let you know. Stop. Fine, do what you will. Squabbling further over this would be a waste of time. Silesion, if you would. D rank ID certification. Oh, yeah, I heard about these. These are temporary issue security cards for visitors such as yourselves. The city implemented them last year. With these, you're free to use the Aerotram to travel to Newtown and the Artisanal District. You can't take the upper-level Aerotram to the Institute of Science, however. Huh? Why not? Wait, hold up. Appreciate it. We'll go and get to work then. Wait, given our public position, we have to make sure the Principality saves face. I personally don't think this warrants an investigation by the likes of you, but we nevertheless prepared a point of contact for you. Pater Silesia.
カトル・サリシオンです。理科大学で助手をしています。別の案件も抱えているので常時対応は難しいかもしれませんが、問い合わせなどがあれば 遠慮なく連絡していただければ。
Well, we'd appreciate that.
連絡先を交換したわよ。
そのフォローは珍しいタイプみたいですね。
Don't worry about that. Actually, if you don't mind me asking.
何か。
His instincts are too good. No, it's just, don't take this the wrong way, okay? I was just wondering what pronouns to use for you.
え
You out of your mind? Katter is very pretty, but he doesn't really have a female physique.
当たり前です。男に決まっているでしょう。
Look, seriously, I'm sorry. You're about 14 or so, give or take. At that age, I figured it was possible you could be either. You must have skipped more than a few grades if you're an assistant at the institute.
まあそれなりには。それと僕は15歳です。いいですけどね。たまに遠目だと勘違いされますし。
I wasn't sure at first with the way his coat covers him either. Yeah, but who makes a mistake as close as he is? Man, I sure as shit do not want to get old. Yeah, she sees what he saw, whatever he saw. Enough. If you're all done, then please get out of here. I'm a busy man. After this, Mr. Tau Sensor, the students from RMS Academy have arrived. Already? Well, let them through. Selysion, I'll be counting on you yet again. You're staying for 3 days, yes? Good luck clearing out the gutters, so to speak. It's a real nice dude. Not even trying to be subtle. He's a real pain in the ass, but that makes it easier for us to move around at least. Works for me. Now you're starting to get it. Oh, shut up. He said there were no problems, but he certainly didn't act like that was the case. Agreed. He might not have the answers, but he most certainly has cause for concern. Or at least, that is how it appeared to me. I don't believe it will be easy to get anything out of him. I don't believe any part of this is going to be easy. We'll have to tackle it from a few different angles. Which means... Ah. Oh. Aren't they? They were in front of Central Station this morning. So he really is Agnes's boyfriend from her part-time gig. Lyle, I told you that's not true. Right, my bad. How's it going, good students? We're just here for work. Good luck with the whole school trip thing. I know I am in her corner. I still want no part in any of this. Trying to hook up Agnes and Van. Welcome, students of RMS. Right this way. They all got distracted. These are your C rank certification cards. They're primarily for outside trainees, so you will have access to the Institute and the Aerotram. Thank you very much. Wow, so we could ride the Aerotram as much as we want? And we could visit the Institute of Science. This will help our reports big time. Then each group is free to do what they want. We'll meet back up at the hotel lobby around 6:30. Remember, you'll be punished if you're late. Yes, ma'am. You won't catch me being late. Hey now, don't threaten the first years. Anyway, let's make sure this visit is a fruitful one. Huh. Let's get moving, underclassmen. Then I'll leave you all to it. If you need anything at all, just contact me via the number I gave you. See you. Hold on a second. Kater Silesian. I've heard quite a few things about you, like how you're the professor's favorite student. Ren. Wait, then... You see, I'm a foreign exchange student from Libero, so we just so happen to have met through a contact at ZCF. We had quite the wonderful chat after she read all of my past papers. ZCF is the Zace Central Factory in Libero. I've met both Professor Russell and his daughter, so... Wait, papers? Don't tell me you're... Oh, never you mind that. To circle back to my original point, I have a request to ask of you. My friend here will be operating on her own. Could I ask you to take her to the artisanal district for me? Ren?
そうか。早速行くんだな。
ちょっとくらいは一緒に回りたかったんだけどな。二人ともごめんなさい。勝手に決めてしまって。まあまあ、3日もあるんだし、夜はちゃんと戻ってくるんでしょ。その分、いいレポート期待してるから。
くれぐれも気をつけてな。はい。
もしかして先ほどの？まあ別に構いませんよ。ちょうど僕も職人街に用があったので案内します。
アラミス高等学校1年のアニエス・クローデルです。よろしくお願いします、カトルさん。
どうも。
あらほ
Anya says she'll be here in about 15 minutes. That's surprisingly quick. I was about to suggest we get started if she was going to be much longer. Alright then, while we're waiting, it's Ingaddon time. Right now? Yeah. Gotta order ahead of time so we can dig in as soon as Agnes gets here, of course. I thought so. Real slick. Shall we order one alongside some coffee then?
それではサリシオンさん、案内をお願いしますね。
ええ、任せてください。と言ってもエアロトラムを使えば職人街まではすぐです。あとあなたの方が年上ですよね。よかったら名前で。それにさんも必要ありませんから。
そうですかそれじゃあカトル君で。あ、1歳しか違いませんし、そちらも敬語じゃなくて結構ですよ。
それじゃあそうさせてもらおうかな。アニエスさんの方もってそれがあなたの口調なのかな。
ええ、そうなんです。友達には直せって言われるんですけど。改めてよろしくお願いしますね。
うん、それじゃあ行こうか。
よかったら休んでいきませんか？
You have to use the crosswalks and you can't walk on the road? Before I continue with the story stuff, I'm just going to run and grab a quick snack. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And I remember to remove my BRB sign. I don't always remember to do. Don't see aerotrams much across the continent, do you? I'd call them a must with where Basel is located. Newtown, the artisanal district, the Institute of Science, travels along a loop and helps consistently deliver parts wherever needed. The artisanal district's platform is on the right. Just tap your card against the ticket gate. Alright, let me give it a try.
素晴らしい眺めですね。下を見ちゃうとグラグラしますけど。新市街がもうあんなに遠くに。
気に入ってもらえた？
はい、とっても。フェリちゃんとか喜びそうですけど、まだ乗ってないのかな。
可愛らしい人だな。でも彼らとどういう？
Here we are. This is the artisanal district. Now I just need to find the hotel they're staying at. Oh, there's Van's pickup truck. So he drives an Ingert. He's even customized the frame. Wait, that material was only just developed. How did he get his hands on it? I didn't realize you were an expert. You pick this kind of thing up if you work with Vern long enough, I suppose. So how did you get to know people like them? What do you mean? The Spriggan, whatever you call him, and that red-haired guy both seem really shady to me. Though the girl and the maid, I think, they look like good people at least. Just having a hard time picturing what kind of group it actually is if you're involved with them too. Well, I can't blame him for thinking that way about them. Van runs a problem-solving agency, in short. I work there as a part-time assistant for reasons I can't get into. And both work and my duties as a student happen to bring me here at the same time. Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate. Are you sure it's okay to be working with them, though? Vern's CEO didn't seem very happy about them sniffing around. Our work is complicated, I'll admit, but we don't do anything illegal. Technically. His willingness to hire an upstanding young lady like you does reflect well on him, I'll give him that. Even if I don't think highly of his choice to involve someone like you in a business like his. We'll say that about him a lot. You have nothing to worry about though, really. He might skirt the rules here and there, but he's still a man I can genuinely respect. Well, if you say so. He feels like one of those guys who takes some getting used to. The way he treated me was just... I was so close to forgetting too. Did something happen? Nothing worth bringing up. Anyway, we shouldn't keep your friends waiting. I'm a little disappointed that it never really went into what his issues about his gender are in this game, so I'm guessing we'll see that in the next game in the series, especially like if you see during the opening it seems like he's quite in despair over something at least one point in the game, so guessing that'll come up as a major issue, a character arc of sorts in the next game. Annius, we're over here. You came quick. Oh, wait a sec, isn't that... Sorry for keeping you. Cotter was good enough to guide me here. Huh, thanks for helping her out. We ordered an Engadin for the group. Do you want to join us? No, I'm fine. I'm not hungry right now. Your loss. That taste is downright divine. I'll make it up to you some other time then. Don't owe me anything. It's not like I did anything special. I suggest you don't pull any funny business while you're in the city, though. No causing trouble for the women in your group, either. Oh. I'll get going now, Annius. Let me know if you need my help with anything. Oh, I will. Thank you. Man, would have been nice if he gave me the chance to thank him somehow. Puberty's rough. Sure had a soft spot for you, though. Do you think? He just struck me as a very friendly sort in general. We got along right away. I hope I can be friends with him, too. Oh, I'm sure that won't be a problem one bit. I'll be happy to introduce you if we get the chance. How old are you? 5? Nothing wrong with wanting to make friends. Yeah, no need to rain on her parade. Here's your order. One of our famed Engadins. Now this is what I'm talking about. Come and have a seat, Annius. I'll get to cutting it right away. Does look good. She always used to make Engadins for me back in the day. Ah.
焼けたわよ、カトル。今日のは自信作なの。悩んでいる時ほど根を詰めすぎないこと。リフレッシュしてまた頑張りましょう。
I think I can trust Annius, but I better keep a close eye on the rest of them. I don't want anything threatening a place so special to me. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to say hello to the supervisor and take care of my usual work while I'm here. That's the stuff. You won't find a better marriage of flavors than these bitter walnuts with sweet caramel nougat. It's mouth-wateringly rich. Wouldn't believe how well it pairs with strong coffee, I swear. I was born just to savor moments like these. No one wants to hear this every time, you know? Just eat the damn thing. He's describing it to a T, though. I can't get enough of that buttery flavor. If Van says it's good, then you know you're in for a treat. My nose is good for more than just sniffing out trouble, you know? I feel like you're joking, but I could buy it working for stuff like this easy. Now I think we've rested long enough. Perhaps we should get to work. You think we should prioritize investigating Vern? Nah, I think we should hold off on doing that. I can't imagine we'd find anything major this fast even if we tried. I'm thinking we should start wandering around Basel and taking care of 4 SPGs. That'll give us a decent idea of the situation here. Same pattern as usual then. But how can you be so sure that word of our work has spread to here? Good question. Vern's boss sure didn't seem like he wanted to help us any more than he had to. Oh, I don't think we've got to worry about that. Not after my headache of a friend slapped this job on us. Right. That man from the CID? He did seem like a highly capable person, though that's the least to be expected of their chief analyst. You and he go back quite some time, I believe. Unfortunately, yeah. I doubt he's here in person, though. More than likely, he sent someone in his place. Between this and that other project he cheesed, I'm sure there's a ton of scheming going on in that head of his. Guess we should go find out what kind of 4 SPGs we got waiting for us then. So, when do you need to be back at the hotel? And what are you going to do about your uniform? Friends said to be back by 6:30 p.m. I brought some clothes besides my uniform, don't worry. Let me go and get changed. I'll take you to our room then. We will handle paying the bill in the meantime. Harry took Agnes to the girls' room so that she could get changed. After she was done, they reunited with the rest of the group and began their first day of work in Basel. This must be the aerotram station. I can't believe it goes all the way up in the sky. That's right, this will take us to Newtown in no time. All you need to do is hold your certification card over the ticket gate. Oh, guess we're not taking this one after all. Our D rank card isn't accepted on this aerotram apparently. We need a C rank card or higher. Are you sure? I could have sworn we had a C. Way to roll out the welcome mat when we're here for El Said. Would it kill them to throw one of their biggest stakeholders a bone? I was really looking forward to it too. Well, no use crying over spilled milk. You can head on up if you want, Agnes. We'll just take the long way. No, it's all right. I'd rather stick together. I'm sure we'll get to ride the tram together another day, Fairy. Don't let it get you down. You're right, yeah. Got a few different places. Story markers. Well, if it isn't Van. Surprised to see you taking a business trip this time of year. Yeah, client came in with a big job, so we're out here taking care of that. Looks like you're moving on up in the world too. Last I saw, you were a part-timer still in school, and now you're the receptionist? Yep. They hired me here fresh out of college. One moment. Another acquaintance of yours? You got friends in all sorts of places. Oh, we're just in the same field. We worked together on a job a while back. Zin was actually telling me about you the other day. He said that we should be fine contracting you for help if we need to. I heard the same from a friend of mine outside the guild. If something serious goes down, there's no shame in us working together. Oh, who? Brunei or Kilika, I'm guessing. I swear, I can't walk 5 hours without people dragging me into their business. I need a bracer, you know? Oh, speaking of which, you're... Alvis, Regina. Speak of the devils. These two bracers work in Edith, correct? Hey there. I didn't think I'd run into you guys here. Oh man, don't tell me we all got shipped out here on behalf of the same guy. Obviously not. I have no idea why you're even here, but we're here on official orders from the guild, not an individual client. And wherever you guys go, trouble seems to follow. I think it's making me superstitious, not gonna lie. Hopefully that's not the case here. Man, I don't enjoy it any more than you do. Stop framing it like I'm the one at fault. I'm just doing my job and putting food on the table. Surely a C-rank bracer's got better things to worry about than some Spriggan. So stop letting me live rent-free in your head, yeah? Smartass, I swear. This is why I can't stand you. You're always just... forget it. Just don't get up in our business, got it? I know he's a bit abrasive with you, but I do think he respects your abilities. If you come across anything, just let us know. You're doing work for the guild anyway, so we might as well share intel. Funny way for him to show respect, but well, you do you, Bracer boy. Not too worried about him. If we need the guild to lend a hand, we'll ask for it. For now, we've got our own business to focus on. School of Hard Knocks. There's a professor I look up to as a mentor of sorts, but I just can't do this anymore. I'm trying to gather evidence to prove he's been abusing his power over others, so I want to get verbal testimony. I don't want this to blow up, so I haven't spoken with the guild or the cops. I'd like to request a careful investigation from you guys. Anonymous. Huh, this one's real serious sounding. Yeah, and I understand why they don't want to go to the guild or the police about it. I really hope we can help them while we're here. We might learn more about what's going on in the Institute while we're working on it too. That'd be two birds with one stone. Makes sense. Sounds harmless to me, but what's your take? Barry brought up a good point. We can get some info on the Institute while we work on this case. Pretty vague though. They didn't give their name or the professor they're accusing. Really going out of their way to make our job difficult. Naming names in this case may result in the professor or other parties threatening the whistleblower. I believe our client just prefers to err on the side of caution. Yeah, that tracks. Fair enough. Rosette, can you handle recording our convos? Certainly. Gotta be careful who we talk to about this though. Client doesn't want word of this getting out. Start with people unrelated to the Institute. That way we don't accidentally hit a nerve. That makes sense to me. I imagine there will be plenty of those here in the artisanal district. Let's get started. I wonder who lives here. Yeah, it's really high up.
あったあった。よかった、資料が見つかって。あら？あなたたちは？もしかしてこの家にご用でも？こちらのご主人ならずっと留守にしてますよ。
We were just walking around and happened to end up here. So you know who owns this place then?
知り合いというか関係者というか家族って言ってもいいのかな。でもあの子ほど近いかと言われると。
Get to the point, lady. Girl's IQ points have all gone into her face and tits. Total dits with a capital D. Aaron!
うわー、かわいい子たちですね。そっちのちっちゃい子なんかも。どこから来たのかな。お姉さんが案内してあげましょうか。
Not that tiny.
ちょっとこんなことしてる場合じゃなかったんだった。用があるなら留守番をしてる子が夜には戻ってくると思うので、それじゃあ。
She was dressed like she's a researcher at the Institute or something. Wish we could have talked to her a bit more about that. I wanted to make her understand my size isn't all there is to me. I'm strong too. Late 20s, huge tits, kind of an airhead, freckles, glasses. Yeah, I'd hit it. Are you going to start behaving like an adult, Aaron, or am I going to have to force you to? I wonder if that could be... Even Aaron's kind of scared of Anya's. It's not easy working in product. Let me tell you, mediating between factories and artisans is stressful work. Now the artisans are saying they want to delay everything so they could do just these tiny tweaks to the product before it goes on the line. I don't get it. Why do they care so much about that extra 1%? It's good enough as is. This guy works in product procurement, huh? Don't think he's working for the Institute, but he might know a thing or two about him. Wouldn't hurt to ask.
ちょっといいか
A professor abusing their assistants? Well, I'm not sure why you're asking me specifically about it, to be honest. I just work at Vern's procurement division. I don't attend the Institute or work with them directly at all. We know, and that's exactly the angle we want. Word travels, you know? I get that. I haven't really heard anything about it though, sorry. Vern and the Institute are very closely linked, though, and that does create conflicts of interest sometimes. I may not have heard about it, but it is believable. It's very possible the two sides are stressing each other out. Could you tell us a bit more about how Vern and the Institute work together? The Vern Company awards grants to the Institute of Science to research and develop new products on their behalf. That allows the Vern Company to curate their products with research from the Institute's experts. Oh, wow, that's really neat. If I recall, Vern could trace its roots back to the old Artisans Guild and to the Institute itself. I always figured they worked well together because of that. They did, past tense. They had good relations while their senior advisor was still there. Alas, she left Basel some time ago. Now Vern and the Institute hardly collaborate at all. It's every project for itself. Maybe the asshat in charge scared her off? Thanks for the info. That helped a lot. Place is kind of a maze. Word on the street is Giscard landed on another big project. Well, Giscard heads up the Artisans Guild. As a fellow member, I'm proud to have him as our ambassador. I'm happy to be where I am, but Giscard didn't get where he is by settling. I gotta keep moving up in the world just like him. I specialize in pressure equipment, and that's a big niche nowadays. Only gonna get bigger, my gut says. Mentioned that he's a member of the Artisans Guild. Might have some dealings with the Institute himself. Yeah, guessing it'll be easier to get info out of him than somebody higher up the food chain.
ちょっといいか
Doesn't ring a bell, sorry. My son is studying at the Institute, and he's never told me anything like that. About anything like that. That doesn't prove it one way or the other, of course. I just haven't heard about it. Did he tell you about any other stuff? Anything helps. Well, sometimes I do hear about people in the same lab butting heads over funding. I heard these grumblings about two professors going at it even. Seems like a pretty stressful place. With all the greed and infighting over projects, it sounds like it's got everybody at each other's throats. That makes sense, yeah. That might be what started their harassment. Do you know which professor specifically? I really can't remember, sorry. I feel like there was at least one of Professor Hamilton's students involved, but that's all I got. I see. I wonder if this professor was jealous of someone else, or someone envied them instead. Well, thanks for the info all the same. Oh, get a load of that. Discard Workshop. Yes, sir. Are those from one of the Empire's Panzer Soldats? No, they seem a little different. Yeah, word about these things has gotten out in certain circles, but most people still don't know about them yet. Guessing you do, though. Your company's involved in their development, right? Yes, though not that much. We have only been assisting in trials. Who are you guys? I haven't seen you around before. This is a restricted area, you know? Totally get why you'd want to gawk at these beauties, but they're technically not public knowledge yet. Go ahead and move along now.
Huh? もしかしてあいつらが
I didn't know machines like that were being made here in Calvar too. Sure are. I've heard the concept behind their design is different from the Soldats over in Erebonia though. They're going to be revealed to the public along with their names sometime soon. Huh. Sure feels like we saw something we weren't supposed to, even if it was just the legs. I imagine that while they're being kept a secret from the public, most major groups and organizations have already been told about them. That includes those abroad, our international allies, maybe even the Empire. I believe you're correct in your assumptions. I think that's true for all the weaponry that's going to be rolled out soon too, not just our soldat lookalikes. Either way, this looks like the biggest workshop in the artisanal district. We'll have to come back another time if we get a chance. I think that's all there is to see in the artisanal district. We should check out Newtown next. Since we cannot use the aerotram, we will have to either walk or drive there. Let's take a walk. It'll help us get more acquainted with the city and its people. Gotta be kidding me. Walking's a pain in the ass. Well, I, for one, think a stroll would be lovely. Me too. Let's make our way to the bridge then. Overruled. Even the locals barely use it. That's because most either go by car or use the aerotram. You rode the aerotram, right? How was it? It had the best view, but it was a little scary too. I didn't think there'd be a difference in ranks. Have you never used the aerotram in the past, Van? Nah, I got to ride it when I came here a couple years ago. Just had a regular old ticket. From what I hear, security within the city's undergone a massive overhaul. After the war, the government ordered a total reform. I don't find it surprising that they would want to be careful with an experimental city that is very nearly a national secret. Okay, but tell me how that puts us at a lower rank than a bunch of kids here on a school trip. I don't think it's that they're high, I think it's more that we're low. Still, it's not a big deal, as long as we could drive. By the way, pretty sure we'll eventually bump into your classmates. You okay on that end? I'm fine. I've explained things to them for the most part. They might happen upon some info before us, so if we see them, let's make a point to ask. A few different quest markers, huh? A new holocore. Spriggan, I've heard that you're a tester for Marduk. With that in mind, could you help test a brand new holocore that's been developed at the Institute of Science? I'll be waiting for you at the Vern store. Athena. Wow, this is really cutting-edge stuff. I'm surprised they have this in stores. Yo, Athena, right? You had that request for us? We're with Arkride Solutions. Sorry, I just wasn't expecting that. I didn't think you'd take my request. So, yes, my name is Athena. I'm a researcher at the Institute of Science. I mainly do orbital energy research. Right now, I'm working on new holocore designs. I've finally started beta testing, so having people to help out is a big relief. So, thank you in advance for your help. Can do. You can stay to relax though. It ain't gonna eat you or I ain't gonna eat you or anything. So, sorry, I'm just not good with people. That's why I'm really interested in communication technology. Being able to talk to people from my own room sounds really helpful. It's kind of why I wanted to come here. I want to make the world a little less daunting for people like me. Huh. I can't tell if you're actually enthusiastic or just motivated by fear. You sound like my coworkers. So, do you need me to go over the details? Sorry. Much obliged. Okay. Right this way. The manager and I will take you through it. So these kind folks are helping you test it out? Nice to meet you. Name's Radad. I'm the manager of the Vern store. Depending on how these tests go, you might see this holocore on our shelves soon. So I'll be keeping an eye over these field results myself. You wouldn't mind reporting your findings to me too, would you? Not at all. Right, let's go ahead and dive in. So here's how I want the testing to go. This new holo is named Poco. I'd like you to equip her to your Zyphas and take her into a few monster fights. Anything specific you need us to do once we get in a fight? I need you to do 5 moves or more while you're S-boosted. Once you're done, I'd like to hear how it felt to use. Sounds easy enough. 1 second here. Okay, here you go. Poco's a cute name. Curious to see what kind of holo it is. Brand new holo core straight from the Institute. Oh man, I can't wait. Well, she's a bit unique. You'll find out more after you equip her. Now we just gotta find some schmucks and ruin their day. But now that I think about it, where are the monsters around here? The road we drove in on was all cleaned out. If you're looking for monsters, I'd say the Og Canyon to the south is your best bet. Once you're off the road and past the orbital lights, things get a bit dicey. But you guys look pretty seasoned, so you should be fine. It'll make for a nice little test bed. Well, fine by me. Let's head on down and give this new holo core a whirl. Oh, right, gotta equip it first. Duh. Indeed. Once we've finished our preparations, let's make for the canyon. You should be able to access it from the road next to the Vern HQ building. Now travel to Og Canyon.
よかったら休んでいきませんか？
So this is the path through Og Canyon. It certainly fits the name. The terrain off the paved road path appears to be quite complex. Watch your footing, guys, or you're going to be flying headfirst into the river. You could take this road to the Liberal Kingdom, right? If you wanted, yes, though it would take you several hours to get there even by vehicle. On the other side of the border is a fortress in the Zace region. Signs like these really make it clear just how far from the capital we are. We've been jumping all over the country so much lately. Sheesh. You're just happy to have an excuse to drive around, and you know it. Hey, I'm a simple guy. Well, let's get that holocore tested, shall we? The task is to equip Pocal and act 5 times while S boosted. Right, let's go. 6. You might be able to zoom out on this map a little more? Oh, no, you can't. That's unfortunate.
さてと。
そうだな。
さてと。
そうだな。さて。
Okay.
遠隔攻撃を警戒するわ。
Oh.
崩せるかよ。チャンスだ。
Wait, why is it his turn again? What the hell?
上げていこうぜ。
好機です。託します。私にお任せを。やアニエス様。や
Oh, right.
アーロンさん。今です。
おまけだ。
バン様。ここです。ここって下の方にも行けるんでしょうか。
相手が悪かったな。一応そこから行けるはずだが、依頼は街道でサクッとしますぞ。
よかった。
なめんじゃねえ。
困っていたところでした。
そこか。
こちらのターンです。
こちらの番だ。頼む、アニエス。
この木は逃しません。
ガンガン行くぞ。
期待以上の成果かと。
さすがの仕事ぶりだ。
戦局万来。
Why is Rosette going last each time? He has like the second highest speed out of everybody in my party.
上等だ。ガンガン行くぞ。
ミゼットさん。アーロン様。これでホローコアのテストは完了でしょうか。ええ、報告に戻りましょう。
見とれたかよ。
アーロンさん、お見事です。
That's blocked off, right?
お、宝箱だ。
敵の集団。
さあ、次に行くぞ。
私にお任せを。
任せる。任せろ。手強さ。
面白い。
戦闘終了。データを処理するわ。
こっちじゃねえな。
さて、
Is that it? All that I have access to? Oh, not quite. Aha.
皆さんお疲れ様でした。危険のメイン。皆さんご注意。警戒するブーストアーツで弱点。ここが攻め時かと。
こちらの番だ。
グループ特定のアーツ。
決めろ。
頼んだぜアニス。
この機は逃しません。期待以上の成果かと。
宝箱だ。
とんでもねえメイドだな。
向かうとすっか。
All right.
よかったら休んでいきませんか。エアロドラム。
Phew, now I'll finally be able to get started on the report. Just gotta wait for the test results. Yo, good timing. We gave the new holocore a spin. Eep. Oh, good work everyone. Would you mind sharing your feedback? Can do. Oh, can I have that holocore back first? Sure, here you go. Turn the Pokal holocore to Athena. Thank you. Let me go ahead and start uploading the combat data. Just a sec. Okay. Athena connected the holocore to her laptop. So, while it's uploading, how did it feel to use? Performance, bugs, anything at all? Well, I don't have much to say about its performance, being honest. It's more, I swear, that AI didn't know the difference between a fight and a playground. What the hell's up with her? Sorry, just wrapping myself in a blanket. It's getting kind of cold. Aw, don't be so harsh. She had this childlike whimsy to her. I found it pretty cute. It felt really weird. Does she heal people in combat? That's what it felt like to me, at least. A very unique core indeed. Should it hit the shelves, I imagine it'll be the talk of the town. I, for one, do not vibe with the idea of carrying a little girl around in my pocket, and I'm sure any self-respecting guy wouldn't either. But I don't know, our resident weirdo already has one of those. Maybe that's what he's into. Zip it, Aaron, and leave her out of this. Not like I picked either of them. That's awfully rude, Van. You'll upset her if she hears that. Oh, great. Word through the grapevine is she's an interesting holo herself. Oh, you mean Mare? You're familiar with her? Oh yeah, the professor told me about her. According to him, she was actually an accident. That PMC wasn't even trying to make the pinnacle of all holocores, but somehow they just did. That's why I asked you guys, actually. I knew you had experience working with cores like her. Well, that explains the funny feeling I had. So it wasn't just a coincidence. Your professor must be pretty informed if he knows about Merko. Indeed, her existence isn't technically confidential, but she hasn't been promoted or publicized either. I imagine word has reached the inner circles of the industry, the 3 disciples at least. Yep, that tracks. It was Professor Cronkite who told me. No wonder he knows. He's pretty much carrying the Republic's engineering sector on his back. I can confirm he's the real deal, not an engineer worth their salt who doesn't know about his work. Yeah, he's really leaps and bounds above me. He can be scary sometimes, but he really knows his stuff. I learned a ton working under him. Being honest, it was actually him who came up with Pokel's adaptive AI design. I owe him for that. I did hear rumors about him, but I can neither confirm nor deny. So he's the creep of the blog. No, that's not it. The reason Pokel is a girl is because she's meant to simulate how real humans grow and learn. So the more she learns, the more she matures. Right, that's the reason. Aaron, why don't you grow up too? Does it really learn just like a real person? That's so cool. She does, yeah. But according to Professor Cronkite, she doesn't even come close to Mare's inner potential. It's been bugging him lately, actually. He was all, if some security company can make an advanced holocore, why can't we? He's been researching holocores in his spare time to try and figure it all out. Guy's driven, that's for sure. Yeah, I wonder if that red holocore that we see in the opening for Crimson Sin was made by him. So getting back on topic, the core was fine. Being a child that hasn't learned much yet, yeah, her abilities are pretty basic and stuff, but she was pretty easy to use. Really? Thank you. Only real snag I ran into was it being a bit janky deploying shards while I was boosting. It didn't really hamper me at all, but still. Compared to other holocores, Pokel's deep learning algorithms may increase processing overhead and delay combat functions. Optimizations should be a priority to help mitigate that, though some latency is probably unavoidable. Yeah, that does make sense. Can you give me your feedback too? Van's cohorts each offered their impressions to Athena. Conveniently, the holocore finished uploading its combat data to the laptop just as they were wrapping up. Thanks for waiting, guys. Now that I have the data, let me give you this back. Oh, we can keep her? I just wanted to thank you for helping test her. We'll be pushing updates once we iron out the kinks, so she should get better with time. Thank you so much for your help. Now, I need to get on back to the Institute and analyze this data. Sounds good. Take care. Why is that gray? How is that not law? I don't get it. Phew, been really busy lately, but I gotta stick the landing. Now's my chance to make a name for myself. I refuse to lose to the guys. I'm gonna smash that glass ceiling and make the board of directors just you watch. Ah, she's an office worker in Newtown. Average shows like her can have better info than meets the eye. Let's talk to her and see what we get.
ちょっといいか?
Harassment. Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me. I've heard some nasty things about some specific professors at the Institute. Really? I won't name names, but I've heard a thing or two from a friend of mine. She's a researcher at one of the labs there. Every night, they're sleeping at the labs after unpaid overtime. One little mistake during the day and they get torn to shreds. They say it's considered normal there. You just work until you drop. My friend, she told me one night she was having suicidal thoughts. I had to talk her out of it. That's horrible. Does the Institute not know about their working conditions? Oh, they do, but it's fear that rules the roost there. The Institute's senior professors are like celebrities in their own right. Nobody can touch them. They control whether or not you have a career in this town. Vern, my own company, everybody. They all go through the Institute's pipeline. Huh. Out of curiosity, who do you work for? This Orbital goods supplier. They've got a license from Vern to sell their goods. So it's not like I could speak up about it, because then there goes my career. Word travels fast. Yeah, that tracks. Vern and the Institute might as well be Basel. You speak up and you're never working in this town again. I can only hope we find a way to right this injustice. Wow, there's so many cars. I had heard about its capacity, but it's very impressive seeing it in person. Welcome to Automotive Heaven, the motor pavilion where all the big manufacturers strut their stuff before they hit the market. Vern's big here, naturally. They got a bunch of makes under their wing. Leno, Ingert, Red Star, and ETWS, that's your big four. This is where they show off all their latest and greatest stuff. And for gearheads like me, is both a peek at the new model year and a chance to yoink some of their ideas for our own projects. Whenever I come to Basel, you bet I hit this place up every time. The most important place in the city, full stop. That's great, Grandpa. Now let's get you home. I see. I do hear that the four manufacturers compete with each other a lot. That they have their own specialties, but nonetheless push each other to innovate. Does that factor into the showroom too? Oh yeah, these guys are ruthless. They all specialize in different things, but when markets collide, you bet they're at each other's throats, and that's good for the consumer. Leno and Ingert especially. They both manufacture their cars here in Basel, so they headhunt and poach from each other like nobody's business. If you get time to kill, I highly recommend stopping by here and shooting the shit with the salespeople. They might convert you. I'd use kill me, or him. His passion for cars is already evident with his truck. It's natural that he'd be drawn here. Might as well take a look now that we're already here. Welcome, welcome. What can I get you? I go wherever my heart takes me, and I bring my little shop along for the ride. Who knows what customers I'll see next. Not the most practical business model, but it's what makes me happy, and my little niche has made me popular with the locals. A roaming cafe, huh? That is popular with the eggheads at the Institute. Common watering holes such as this would be a good place to gather information.
さてと、ちょっといいか?
Workplace harassment? Haven't heard anything about that, sorry. My clientele are a lot more mellow. The faculty I get are pretty kind, actually. They treat their students and understudies to meals sometimes. Huh, Who specifically? That might help us narrow things down. So, Professor Orally, Associate Professor Tane, and Professor Callahan too, but he hasn't been around in a while. They always look pooped. Like on death's door, seriously. But when I talk to them, they all come across as normal, upstanding people. Oh, so they're just covering for the man is what you're saying. You be the judge of that. But I have noticed that some researchers from this specific lab have looked really down in the dumps as of late. Workplace harassment would explain that. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but that lab's professor might have something to do with it. Well, if anything comes to mind, please let us know. Well, I'm sure I'm just overthinking things, but thanks, I'll let you know. Feels like there's more to the story than that. Does he not want to snitch, or does he not believe it? I see. Thanks. Thank you for sharing with us. I'd say that's about everyone we're talking to in Newtown. Yep. Now is when we plot our next move. You know, there are still bits of Basel that could use a sweep. Let's double check first. Okay. Oh wait, if you go down there, some of the students move, and you miss out on some conversations, I believe. I missed out on those conversations last time, I think. Let me see.
えっと、さすがにまだみんな戻っていませんね。
None of them are over in the artisanal district, right? No, it was like a group conversation I was looking for, not a single person. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you were only able to talk to those people while you were Ants. Wait, that looks like Aida's gun. The top one.
いかがしましょう。またお越しください。
Alright. It's just that, and then this building is Libero, ZCF, and the Epstein Foundation, eh? Minus River Software, I've never heard of them before. Office Roughwood. Foreign Tech Foundation established using your great-grandfather's cash, right? How famous it is even in the Republic. It's kind of funny that it's been dumped over in the corner like this. You're so rude, Aaron. It's fine. But before, all the big buildings were part of the Foundation's branch here. Indeed, as a part of their downsizing here in the Republic, they moved to this location. Its performance in other countries remains stable. Tech going the way it is, it's only natural they there'd be a dip in business. Right, with the Zypha. What was it before again? I think they're doing the rounds underground. Ramda, 5th gen. Co-developed by Vernon Epstein. What the 6th gen would look like sparked a hell of a lot of conversation both before and after the war. Then they went and pulled what even the Empire's Reinford company didn't dare do. Cut the foundation out of the question. Caused some pushback across the continent at first, but now their technology is well on the road to being available to the public. And they'll do anything to keep themselves in their current favorable position. I would imagine even use Marduk for practical testing. Though perhaps it isn't my place to weigh in on the matter. You got that right. And the one pushing that as national policy is her father. So ZCF was the one that developed airships, right? Yes, they're a facility located in Zace in Libero. You can find their products all across the Republic, things like communications equipment or household goods.
ま、友好国としてベルヌとも一応提携関係にあるからね。
Oh, hello there.
こんにちは、バンさんたち。アニエスもやってるみたいだね。感心感心。
We heard what you were doing earlier. You're researching with your coworkers as part of your visitation, yeah? I am. I hope you don't mind me going off on my own. Well, she's putting the work in. You guys have business here? We do. I have personal connections with the ZCF and the Foundation, you see. So I thought this would be the perfect place to get a first-hand look at international technological exchange. But she said, as someone from the Empire, it's a topic I personally can't get enough of. And I heard they make memory cores for films and stuff. How could I not want to come? How nice. I'm sure there will be an endless amount of information to absorb there. Just leave this part to us. We'll be sure to write up a report for you. But you better nab us some sweet scoops in exchange.
Hmm? 制服。ああ。例の研修とやらだったか。
We didn't mean to crowd up the path. Wait, I've seen him before. I think I recognize him too. I'm sure you do. He is rather famous. Greetings, Professor. My name is Ren Bright. I've heard all about you from a certain other professor.
おお、君が。共和国に留学していたのだったか。
Professor Yang Cronkite.
クロンカイトだ。対面は初めてだな。ようこそバーゼルへ。君の論文は興味深く読ませてもらった。
Huh? Papers. It's an honor to have my work read by such a brilliant mind. Might I trouble you for some time to chat in the near future?
君相手ならいつでも歓迎だ。それ以外は面倒だから遠慮したいだね。
So rude.
それでは忙しいので失礼する。
Well, that stick couldn't be farther up his ass, but he's got the chops to back it up. Yeah, his background is Eastern, right? That was Professor Yang Cronkite, the young genius carrying the Republic's engineering community on his shoulders. He's been presenting groundbreaking tech all across all kinds of fields since before the war 2 years ago. Oh, now that you mention it, I think I saw him in the Tyrell Times. He's said to be a genius the likes of which we haven't seen since Professor Hamilton. But how are you connected to someone like him, Ren? I believe the others are waiting, so how about we go? Don't be late for the meetup, Agnes, otherwise I'll have to give you a good spanking. I know. Have fun leading, everyone. Hold on, Ren. Don't think you can get away with not answering. Well then, good luck with work. Shall we? Yes, let's give this our all. I say we've seen everything there is to see in Newtown. That said, looks like we'll have to go to the Institute for that request from the assistant. The one about the professor abusing his power, eh? Doesn't seem like something outsiders like us should get in the middle of. But I'm concerned since it was posted as a 4 SPG. I wonder if we could find a way for all of us to get into the Institute. Like with the Aerotram, access requires rank C certification or higher. It'd be nice if we could have El Saim put on the pressure and get our ranks raised, but that won't work here. Not enough time. So how about we go have a little talk? With who? Ah, the kiddo from earlier? He wasn't as bad about it as the CEO, but he still had his doubts about us. Well, if pushing doesn't work, we just gotta pull. So, thanks for being our go-between, Agnes. For what? Between you and Cotter? You got it. You guys seem to hit it off. Guessing it's because you're so close in age. He'll be up for talking to you. Just make it seem like you've got problems and he can solve them. Oh, I don't think I'll need to go that far. Sure, if I'm just honest and upfront with him, he'll listen. But I am happy to help. Once things settle down, I'll give him a call on my Zypha. Girl doesn't have a clue, huh? It is quite charming how unaware she is of her appeal. I don't really get what you're saying, but I know we can count on Agnes to handle this.
さてと。
こちらはバーゼル理科大学行きです。こちらはバーゼル市へエアロト。
Right,
いかがしましょう。
I think I'm going to take a break for a bit, try to get some rest, and I'll come back to this later today. continue on with chapter 4. I don't know if I'll be able to finish chapter 4 today, because from what I recall, it's quite long, but we'll see. Anyway, I will be back